everyone, Stor, and today I'm going to give you guys another round of Ticket to Read. In case you don't know, Ticket to Read is my TBR game that I play every month. To pick my TBR, I draw 3 ticket cards, and I draw 4 train cards, which and if you want to know the rules and all that, and I'll link the playlist up above in case you want to see it, or just want to start from a very first Ticket to Read video, but I'll be telling you how I did in September. So these were the books that were chosen for me by Ticket to Read and Becca's Book Gobbleathon. I unfortunately DNF'd and a French Kiss, but I'm still kind of complete just because but I'm not going to add the book on my Ticket to Read train on my Ticket to Read board because DNFs don't count, but I unfortunately DNF this. I'm still currently reading Knit 1 Die 2 by Peggy Earhart. I am filming this on the 21st of September, which is very early, but over the weekend it's going to be busy for me, so I'm just filming it today on the 21st. So I am currently reading this, even though I just started, and it's only the second day of falling to readathon today. I'm filming this video, so this will get completed for sure. Which leads these 4. I will be reading House of Dragons by Jessica Cluez as for falling to readathon, so this book will get completed by the end of the month. And for these 3, I am still not sure if I'm going to be starting one of these. I might, depending on how I feel after the readathons I'm participating in, and this is the only book left for Becca's Book Gobbleathon, but for the others, I am confident I'll start one of these. Like I said, depends on my mood, but I will roll over one of these if I do in the start of October. If not, I'm just gonna put these back on my TBR shelves. As you can tell, I'm wearing my Jack-o'-lantern t-shirt, which means October is Halloween season. So for this month, like last year, I did put 13 books in this Jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat bucket because I thought it was a cute idea last year, and I just want to do it again. If Wild Card comes up, I'm going to draw one of these books out of here. And for October, I am kind of participating in Magical Hopathon, which is a Disney World 50th anniversary themed readathon. I want to participate in that as my last readathon until after my wedding. If you guys didn't know, I am engaged, so I've said that I'm temporarily getting rid of the punishments for Ticket to Read just because I'm going to be busy, and I shouldn't punish myself for being busy with all the wedding planning. And I'm not going to be doing any readathons after October. Mostly, any readathons I'll be doing is mostly 24-hour, 48-hour, and 24 and 48-hour readathons, just because it'll be easier for me, even though I still like doing them, but I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, so I won't be doing any more week-long or month-long readathons until after wedding. So yeah, that's the plan. That's pretty much. Oh, before I forget, I'll be picking 6 books for this round since I did 5 last month, even though Becca's Book Gobbleathon didn't even share an agreement with Ticket to Read, but it was still nice with the amount of rolls that I got. So yeah, I'm going to be doing 6 books this month. So let's get to the first draw. So here's what the board looks like from last month. The only ticket card that I used last month. So I'm going to put this in the discard pile. And then these were the 4 train cards that I used last month. And thanks for Becca's Book Gobbleathon. I have completed more books than I was expecting. Especially even though last month Ticket to Read and Book Gobbleathon didn't see eye to eye. So I have completed 2 books, even though one I'm currently reading, and I'm adding one that I'm going to be completed because I'm, again, like I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm pre-filming because I have a busy weekend ahead, so I thought I would pre-film it. So I'm going to put the 5 trains here. And also, like earlier in the video, I'm not sure if I'll complete another book just because of how busy I'm getting. But yeah, so here's what the board looks like so far. And then again, I'll be drawing 2 ticket cards in a normal draw for the train cards. So the first ticket card that I draw is Booktuber Rack. So the first ticket card that I have here is Booktuber Rack, which means I get to pick a book that I bought basically based on a Booktuber recommendation. I was watching Haley from Haley in Bookland's video for her Halloween book recommendations because I was trying to figure out what book that I want to read for the spooky season. It was between 2 books that I own, but the book I picked for this is Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Mascalco. She recommended Stocking Jack the Ripper series. I just thought it would give me an excuse to continue on with the series by reading the 3rd book of the series. And if you haven't read the first book's about a girl named Audrey Rose who wants to study dead bodies, and I still can't remember the actual job name, but it's what she wanted to do, and she's been disguising herself as a boy so she can study it because her uncle was a professor there, and then there was a murder that happened, and then she tries to solve the murder basically. And this is the 3rd book in the series, and I just love Audrey Rose and Thomas so much that I just want to pick him up, and this book will fit well for the Magical Hopathon, which would be a book with a sweet romance for Cheshire Cattail, which it does have a romance in it because by knowing Audrey Rose and Thomas. And then another one would be Festival of Fantasy, which is to read any book, but you have to start at 3 p.m., which most likely I will do because I don't get off work until 5 p.m. or 4:30 depending on the time, and I would pick that prompt for that. And Rachel, who's the creator of the readathon, did say that the only time you could double up prompts is to mix the prompts that has snacks and shows, and this is from the Magic Kingdom, obviously, and that's where I want to start. And I will talk about the book that I'll be using for the first prompt for the entry ticket, but this will be my first pick for October. And the last ticket card that I'm drawing today is, Blurbed. And the last ticket card that I drew here is Blurred, which means it's a book that is blurred by one of my favorite authors. And the book that I picked for this, which most likely I will be using for the entry prompts for the Magic Kingdom for Magic Hopathon, which is to read a fantasy or magical realism book. And the book that I picked for that is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. And this is the 2nd book in the Cursebreaker series, and I just been wanting to pick this up for so long, and I'm mad that I haven't picked this up yet. And the 3rd book just came out, and if you haven't read the first book is obviously a Beauty and the Beast retelling about a girl who's from the real world, and the basis from a fantasy world, obviously, but his curse has been repeated over and over again, so he has to relive his curse, and she ends up being brought into his world, and the whole story goes from there. And I just love the first book so much. I remember reading the first one and I loved it so much. I've been wanting to pick this up ever since, and I still haven't picked it up, and I'll be using it as my entry book. And she said that this has to be the first book that you read before you enter the parks, obviously, because that's what you do with Disney if you're doing park hoppers. So I understand the prompts a bit, and of course I just can't wait to pick this up because it's been on my shelves for so long. It's one of the sequels I've been wanting to read for so long. And the first train card that I'm drawing is, wild card. And the first train card that I drew here is a wild card, and I just been excited about it because it did not come up last year, so I'll be drawing a book from here. So, okay, this is it. Hopefully it's a book that I want to read right now. Oh, it's now entering Adamsville, which I hauled a few months ago, and it's right here, obviously. So, yeah, this is my wildcard pick, and obviously by the cover if it's the spooky season. And I've read a book by her before, Elisa and Her Monsters, and I enjoy that. But I don't even know what this book is about. I think it's about ghosts and there's a haunted town or something, and yeah, I've heard nothing but good, I've heard good things about it, but I haven't heard bad things about it either, so this book is really perfect for that, especially for the spooky season, and I've just been wanting to read it since I saw this at half price books, and plus I've read from this author before, so it's perfect for that. Also, this book will be perfect for the Haunted Mansion prompt, which is to read a spooky book, which I do have some spooky books on my TBR, so this might be one of my options. And the next train card that I'm drawing is, ooh, a classic. So the next train card I have here is black, which means it's a classic, and I thought about this. I thought about putting back Robin Hood on my TBR, but I'm like, you know what, since I didn't pick it up, I'll pick it up another time. And the book that I picked for this that's fit for spooky season, and Kevin has read this last year, and that makes me want to read it, which is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have not read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde before, so I'm really excited to pick this up for this season, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to read it physically or read it on audiobook, since Kevin already has it on audiobook, and I've just heard, I know of the story kind of, but not really, but I am excited for this just because it fits for this season. And the next train card that I'm drawing is, ooh, a fantasy. And the next train card that I have here is purple, which means a fantasy, and the book that I picked for this is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, which is about a boy whose family doesn't accept him for his gender, and he really wants his best friend back, who is his cousin, so he did a ritual, and he ends up bringing back the school bully instead, and that's all I know about the story, and I just been wanting to read this since it came out last year, and I haven't picked it up yet, and I wanted to pick it up last year for the spooky season, and I didn't, but I just thought I would pick this up because I've heard good things about it, and I've heard mixed things about this latest novel that just came out this year, but it's a European retelling, so I'm like, I'm still gonna want to read it anyway, so yeah, hopefully I'll end up really enjoying this, so I would pick up his latest novel after that. And the last train card that I'm drawing is, oh, middle grade, perfect! And the last train card that I have here is green, which is for middle grade, which is perfect because the book that I'm picking for this is Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab, which is this sequel to City of Ghosts series, or Cassidy Blake series. If you haven't read the first book's about a girl whose best friend's a ghost, and then she ends up going to Scotland because her parents are ghost hunters, and I just love that first book so much, and I'm just so glad that middle grade came up this month because I've been wanting to pick this up, and the third book just came out this year, so yeah, I'm just really excited to continue on with this series since I really enjoyed the first book so much. So these are the books I'll be reading in October. I am really happy about this stack because there's a lot of books that I wanted to read, and plus some of them has fit for the prompts for the Magic Kingdom prompts for the Magical Hobbiton, because I want to pick that one because it's my favorite theme park, even other than Animal Kingdom, because Animal Kingdom is my second favorite, and yeah, I'm really excited about this stack right now. So that's all for this round's Ticket to Read. If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what spooky books you're going to read for this season, or just any book in general. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you know if I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!